Hey, good evening. It's Thursday, August 25th. And thanks so much for being here today. And welcome to Everyday Talk 24/7. I had to be up today getting an eyes exam and a couple other things, so I'll be late getting home. So I want to do the video today, obviously I'm in my car. I just wanted to get this in because it's really important. I didn't want to skip today. Talking about boldness and contentment. Last night we talked about contentment and how important it is to be content, because that's what allows us to do the things that God's called us to do. And then, as I begin to think about being content and doing the things that God has asked me to do, to be about, to honor Him, and the things that He wants me to be about. He wants me to have the courage to be bold. And if I'm filled with anxiety, if I'm filled with worry, being bold is a lot more challenging. But if I'm content, knowing that I'm doing what God wants me to do, being clear about His word, then I know even if something is really, really hard, I can do it because He's called me to it. So being content is not necessarily being laid back. Being content is that I know what I'm about because I know that God wants me to be about that. And if I know it's God's mission for me, even if it's returning good for evil, if it's being kind, if it's having to take a stand against something that requires real boldness, my hope is that I'm doing it in the direction of God. If I have clarity about that, then my contentment, it leads to boldness. So like in the thumbnail, you see, as the sun rises, as we have a clear sense of purpose and mission, I can be bold. And that flows from the fact that I'm content that I'm doing what God has called me to do. What a really cool, wonderful thing. What a powerful thing. So this night, as you think about the things that God's called you to, flee anxiety and worry. Look for contentment. And if you have that sense of contentment, then you've got that sense of boldness with you. You can be bold because God is calling you to honor Him. And if we know we're about what God's called us to, there's nothing better than that. Nothing more comforting. Nothing that is more soothing to our spirit. So that's the thought for this night. Again, just a short thought. Let your boldness flow out of a deep sense of contentment because you know that you're about what God's called you to. Again, look forward to seeing you tomorrow. We've got Q&A Friday coming up. If you haven't turned on post notifications, just turn on, subscribe, and these videos will come right to you. Again, check us out at everydaytalk247.com. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you so much for your encouragement. It's really huge. And this night, be bold for God because you're content in being in His ways. What a blessed thought for us. Lord willing, we'll see you tomorrow. You have a great evening. Thanks so much for being here. Bye-bye.